What's up, everybody? This is Jed Johnson from DieselCrew.com. Of course, you know they call me Napalm. Going over more of the questions that I got from Instagram in a little bit more detail. Some of them I don't think I actually responded to. So, like this one from Tommy Schaff, those triceps are crazy. Well, thanks, man. I guess aside from just genetics, which I'm sure is a big part of it, with as far as the shape of the triceps, a couple things I do. Well, for many years, I did August of arms, so I did some form of arm training every single day throughout the month of August. And then the other thing is, I don't ever do half reps on bench press unless my like elbow joint itself is bothering me. So I'm always doing lockout. And I think that's made a difference over the years because people a lot of times people ask me about what I do for triceps, and I don't think it's necessarily anything that's like a breakthrough type of exercise or anything. It's just I think I work the triceps hard and all through a full range of motion. So that's the biggest thing. But thank you, appreciate that. Grip contest / video collab with Juji and Tom in the future. That comes from Eric _ Luce Calzo. So, Eric, I don't know how long you've been around, but I actually already did one. It was me, Luke, Juji, and Tom. So that was about a year ago, a little more than a year ago, beginning of October of 2019. So you can find that on there. Actually, we did two of them. But yeah, I'm always open to doing one of those. And those guys know that if they're in the area, they're welcome at any time. Any advice to get rid of wrist pain? This is from Tanyo Outlaw. I'm not sure what actually it says. But as far as wrist pain, so it depends on what the actual wrist pain is and where it's at. But really, it's about maybe three things. So first off, whatever is the movement that's hurting you, you got to stop doing that movement. Because no matter what you do, if you keep doing the movement, no matter what you do correctively, if you keep doing the movement that hurts you, then you're never really going to get all the way better. Next thing is you probably have to stretch something out. There could be something that's like tight in a certain spot, and it's not allowing you to go through the range of motion properly. So you may need to do some stretching. And then the third thing is if it's actually injured, then you may have to do some kind of rehabilitation for your wrist. How much weight on a rolling thunder before a person is ready for a Thomas Inch dumbbell? That comes from Aaron Rich 30. If you're thinking about a Thomas Inch dumbbell, then you're ready for it. I would go ahead and try to get my hands on one. And I sell them for Steve Slater. They come out of New England, out of Rhode Island. So the price is $475, and then the shipping depends on where you live and also whether it's going to a home address or a commercial address. But maybe the question that you're actually asking is at what point when you lift on a Rolling Thunder will you be able to lift the inch dumbbell? And there is no number. First off, the Rolling Thunder is probably the worst rolling handle that's on the market, and the worst as far as an example for being an indicator for the inch dumbbell. The Rolling Thunder doesn't roll nearly as much as other implements, and I've found that when I when I was able to lift the inch, I was doing like 180 pounds on the old Rolling Thunder, which is actually easier than the newer ones. Some people, though, say that 200 pounds is on the Rolling Thunder is a good indicator of whether you'll be able to lift the inch. I'm telling you, it's not necessarily a guarantee. So it's just not a good way to gauge it. So let's just move on. What's a good grip routine for a tactical athlete or someone who don't want a world-class grip? This is from Hybrid E Coaching. So what's a good grip routine for a tactical athlete? I wouldn't worry about grippers. I would worry about mostly thick bar and pinching, but especially thick bar. And I would incorporate thick bar into the movements that you're already doing. So rowing, climbing, pull-ups, even dumbbell cleans and things like that would be good. I would basically modify what you're doing right now so that the gripping aspect of the movement is intensified. So even with towels, like looping a towel around the chin-up bar and then doing pull-ups like that, or hooking the towel through the carabiner on a low-seated row and performing your rows like that would be a good way to do it. But basically, I would say you want to work like a football player or a MMA athlete would work their grips. Whoops, I already opened that one. 1 second. Okay. And as far as a routine for them, three to 5 sets of 3 to 5 reps, and then lots of stuff to rep failure. Things along those lines will all work for you. If you want a specific routine for a tactical athlete, you can look up my MMA for, grip training for MMA athletes. Be a good way to get it started. All right, this one comes from Tom Lennox. What would you say is the most important exercise to build a well-rounded, strong grip? Seems like I already answered this, but I'm going to say probably thick bar. From Ari Kanizi, strong man. Thanks, brother. It's great meeting you at the Arnold this year. Hope to see you again next year. This is from Dan Desant or Discont. Who will be the first person to certify on a COC number 4? No doubt about it. My pick for that would be R. Senold, and I forget his actual name. He's on Instagram as R. Senold. R.Senold. Dude just did a credit card set with a number 4 here not too long ago. Very, very impressive. And he's been putting up pretty impressive stuff aside from that as well. He just certified on the 3 and the 3.5, both in the same day. So check him out. PM McGuffin 88. P McGuffin 88. What's the one feat of strength you're most proud of? Did I already answer this one? I think I already answered this one. So let's just go on to the next one. I think that's in the first one I did. What did you do to rehab your back for heavy lifts? Well, I stayed away from the heavy lifts. Sabertooth 89. I stayed away from them for a long time. So I injured my back real bad in 2016. So I stayed away from them for a while. And then I all of 2018, didn't do much deadlifting or squatting, but I did a lot of core work. Really fell in love with planks, hollow holds, side planks especially, and dragon flags. And I was able to do dragon flags in 2018 after like 2 weeks of negatives. So, and I can still do them. I would probably be up to about 10 right now, but my tricep tendons have been bothering me for quite a while. And because of that, when I set up for the dragon flag, I'm pulling down like this on this box squat setup that I have my head underneath of. Man, I'll tell you what, it hurts bad on my elbow. So I haven't done too much of that this year, to be honest with you. Are you going to certify on the COC 3.5? And that's from Isaac_Car113. Hey, I'd love to do that, but I'd have to actually recertify on the number 3 first. That's my own desire. So I certified on the number 3 in 2003 when all you had to do was set it down and then close it, and you just had to have the last inch of space visible for your judge. And then I think in 2004 or early 2005 they made it a requirement that you had to set it and then pause, put a credit card through there, and then close it down. And I've done number 3s like that. In fact, I have a product called Operation Certification where I teamed up with Paul Knight to go over that type of training. But I've never reached the point where I was doing like 145 plus rated number 3 grippers on a regular basis. And that's what you really need to be able to do in order to certify, is close something around in that range. So for me to do the 3.5, it would take a lot of time, because I really am not interested in training grippers any more than I have to. I despise training grippers. They make my hands sore, my actual tissues in my fingers, the connective tissue sore, and it throws off everything else in that workout and in the following workouts because I haven't recovered yet. So the chances of me certifying on the 3.5 in the next 5 years, if I totally quit grip contests, and I reach all of the other feats that I want to reach, and people don't, as long as they don't start inventing other cool stuff for me to buy and try to lift, then I will certify on grippers. Otherwise, next to zero interest, brother. All right, thanks a lot for sending in those questions. Thank you for watching the video. Hope this has been helpful, and if it has been, then give it one of these. That really helps me out. Make sure to subscribe so you see more videos coming your way. Leave a comment with any questions that you have. I am currently just grabbing them on my phone. I've got a whole folder of screenshots just of questions to answer in future videos. Not only am I going to be continuing doing this here on the channel in November, but also in December, it's going to be 31 days of Q&A. That went over real well last year. People really enjoyed that. So hit me with some good questions, especially if there's something that I can tell you a story about. I would really like questions like that, okay? If you ask me how many sets and reps or how long I should hold something or something like that, I'm not going to give that advice, guys, because it's all dependent on the individual person. And anyone who does that is merely guessing or pulling your leg. All right? So if you do want programming and things like that, hit me up with some kind of an email or message on Facebook or something like that. We can work together, and I will get to know you through a coaching call and actually write out a program that will help you. But for me to try to answer every single question that has to do with the best way to reach a certain goal for you personally that you want to do without actually knowing about you, it's virtually impossible. All right. And the last thing is, if you could help me share this video. I just hit 11,000 subscribers, and I'll be coming out with a video very soon, letting you know something I've got planned to celebrate that mark as well. So thank you very much. All the best in your training. It's Friday, so have a great weekend, everybody. Have a great grip workout. Take care.